So I was practicing that of like, it's okay, I come in peace, and then just you take the shark's head and you go
that way.
be free
Yes.
that way.
Over yonder.
Hi guys, congratulations on the film. So much suspense, and I was in awe seeing all those sharks swimming around. First things first, what drew you all to this project?
Everything, really.
Well, for me, it's the marrying natural disaster to our climate change and how much we're affecting, you know, our livelihoods through this overuse of fossil fuel that's causing climate change. That reality mixed with this fictional story was, is very close to reality to me.
Yeah, Tommy's films are so fun and kind of gory and crazy and exciting, and married with, you know, Adam McKay and what he does, and, you know, his films that have been recently really about climate change and the impact that it's having on the planet. And, you know, marrying that with the fun idea of sharks entering a town, and this beautiful relationship between these two women, and also, you know, Lisa and her being pregnant and giving birth this entire movie. It was such an exciting premise to me and a challenge.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk about those scenes where you're swimming, the sharks are circling, the water is rising. How did you film that? Were the sharks CGI? Talk to us about putting those scenes together.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of tennis balls as sharks.
Yes. and the set was one big giant pool where they built the faces of the buildings in the town. And so they had 3 different levels where the water would always stay the same level, but the buildings would just come further and further down. So it looked like the water was rising, but it actually wasn't. And it was so cool.
Yeah, we had a couple of, like the car, for example, that was kind of slowly dunked into the water while I was trapped in it. It was very scary in real life too. And the bedroom set, when she's giving birth on the bed, that room was built in a pool. So they would sink the whole set under the water. So it was kind of amazing. You know,
really
a lot of what you see was really happening, which I
like feeling the set move as the water's coming through the windows. Oh, it was really awesome.
And I keep remembering your scene where the water kind of blasts through the window, and that was
so
real. That was
cool.
It's not a fake water.
Yeah, they had this big like ramp, like this slide, and then they kind of just had a ton of water sitting at the end of it, and then they would like unlatch it, and then it would just come hurling through the window and break the glass, and it was so cool to watch.
Yeah, everything but the sharks really was like we were battered.
Everything was real besides the actual creatures swimming around. You have to physically prepare for that?
We did some sort of stunt stuff.
Yeah,
but
did you say we did cold water?
Yeah, I remember they put us in the pool and we
remember
just
it.
like sit in there for a couple minutes.
Oh yeah, we would. Yeah, we
And
had
try on our
cold water
wetsuits and
exposure.
stuff, yeah.
Because we shot this movie in Melbourne in the middle of winter, so it was really cold, and
We had to do the breathing stuff as well.
yes, we did. Yeah, we had to get ourselves used to the water because we would shoot really long days just in our wetsuits and with the whole crew in this giant swimming pool, essentially. So it was cold and wet and miserable and fun at the same time.
But the whole, like, we were all in there. Everybody involved was in the pool in wetsuits. And so we kind of just made it a lot more fun. Yeah.
They were all in the wetsuits while you were.
We were in
Superman.
wetsuits and wardrobe. So we kind of technically had more layers, but not really.
Yeah.
So you had shorts on.
I was floating
On your boat.
on
in
my
the
boat,
sunset.
looking for my niece.
Chime in. Had it
And,
easy. Comes in at the end when the
yes.
storm's blown over.
Yes,
beautiful
that was perfect for me. I'm not much of a great swimmer, and so therefore I have no business to be in the water, in the shark-infested water, and no, definitely not.
Yeah, watching it from a viewing perspective, you're like, how does this all come together, you know? Phoebe, there's this scene where you're in labor, storm surge, water's rising, and you go to play 1,000 Miles from your soothing song birthing playlist. We see this kind of contrast between like humor and obviously suspense and tension. What was that like to film for you? And would you say that's your calming down song in real life, or what is?
I love this question. That probably wouldn't be my first choice. But I think it works, and I see it as Lisa's calming music.
Claire de Lune's also, they played that in the beginning. That's pretty nice.
Oh, that's a
really
lovely
good one. Yeah.
I like Claire de Lune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They played it in the car.
Yes, they did. Yeah. But I think mine would be Dreams by Fleetwood Mac.
Love that song.
If I was to choose.
Are you all big fans of Shark Week? Do you guys tune in annually? Did that kind of serve as any inspiration?
I haven't seen Shark
I used to watch it a lot, actually. Not so much lately. I used to watch Shark. Mostly I used to watch a lot of documentaries. That's how I sort of got myself into speaking English, actually. So
Oh, wow.
I used to watch a lot of documentary films about nature and all that.
Yeah.
And so
So many
my
things.
understanding, some of my understanding came from a little bit watching sharks, documentary on sharks, and knowing that how much we're invading their world rather than and how much we're impacting in their livelihood than they are to us. You know? They're not much of a threat to us, really.
Yeah. Yeah, climate change is the immediate threat
Yes.
for us, and I
And
think
we're causing that in a way. Contribute.
we are. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that was another thing about this film. I think a lot of people can relate to, there's been a lot of hurricanes and fires in real life, weather disasters, happening all the time around the world. So, that was important to us, I think, to show that.
And would you say after this film, you're prepared to encounter a shark? Do you feel like you learned some stuff going in?
I feel like I could do it. Maybe I'm just, end of the day, I'm getting a little bit crazy, but I feel like I could do it.
Didn't we used to look up videos? I'm sure I kind of got a bit obsessed with the idea of what would happen if I met one. And I would see these divers and they put their hand on the shark's head and they kind of guide it the other way.
Yeah.
So I was practicing that of like, it's okay, I come in peace, and then just you take the shark's head and you go
that way.
Be free.
Yes.
That way.
Over yonder. Yeah.
You have to assert yourself, you can't show fear. And that's, I think, a big part of it. Thank you guys so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.